guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're talking about farming, and in fact we're talking about how government failing farmers and in fact failing country and failing us as a people. There are loads of articles currently in the news, guys, where farmers are threatening us with food shortages due to the latest tax legislation. If you follow the channel, on Sunday we normally have a debate with Mark the Bald Hat Farmer, and this week was no different. So we covered many subjects as we do, and we touched on the subject of current change in legislation or in tax. And we unfortunately haven't really covered this in a great detail, but many of you, I'm sure, wanted to know a little bit more detail, so it was suggested that I kind of put this video to you just to explain a little bit more in basic terms. So guys, as per new budget, now farmers have to be paying 20% inheritance tax if they're to pass on their farm to their siblings after they passed away. And this is applicable to the farms over the value of £1 million. It does sound like a lot, but it does include the agricultural assets, land and business. So if you think about it, how much the land's worth and how much a little bit of property on the land, it is worth a lot of money, okay? So £1 million for a large farm is not a lot. And we're now comparing this to the previous time before the new tax. There was 100% relief. So basically, if the farm got passed on for the family wouldn't have to pay inheritance tax because relief would cover that. So now, basically, anybody who's going to be inheriting a farm over £1 million, this is from 2026, will be liable for 20% inheritance tax. Or they said that they are able to stretch this over the 10 years and pay in installments. Nonetheless, it is not ideal. And as farmers are rightly kicking off saying that a lot of them are going to lose out, and a lot of them are going to end up selling their farms just to pay off for the taxes, and a lot of them are actually going to give up the farming altogether. Again, guys, if you follow our farming chats on Sundays, we've covered this on many conversations. The way the incentives the governments are giving farmers actually not to farm. It is clear for any of you who think that it is to do with the taxes, it is clearly not, because the agenda of getting people out of farming for more of sustainable, helping the country, helping the world, that kind of thing, this is exactly the agenda. So it is not about the taxes. This is about getting the farmers out and having the land. Again, if you haven't watched any of the videos where we discuss certain things that where the government pays farmers to plant some seeds, just for the pollinators. So obviously, rather than growing crops, they grow flowers. Things when they're selling or forced to sell off the land for the scientific interest. There is so much going on there, so you're able to build yourself a slightly better picture to why this is happening. So this new tax will come in effect from the 2026, and it's actually predicted to affect 70% of farms. 70%, guys, think about it. We lost a lot. We lost thousands and thousands of farms for the past couple of years alone. Just imagine if that 70% of farmers will decide to just jack it in because they can't afford no longer to do that. It is a very scary thought. And I know, guys, we preach a lot on the channel, and we're talking with Mark, the food shortages are absolutely going to be happening one way or the other, and very soon. We as a country, we rely a lot on imports, and some people say, well, if farming is not happening, we're going to import all our stuff. Well, look for the past year, just a year alone, how many naturals, or say not natural disasters happened in the different countries, and have a look at Spain. That suffered with the heat waves of last year and the year before. They lost a lot of crops. So again, things are not coming into us in the quantities they used to, or in fact even the qualities they used to. Now they suffered with floods, and they've been predicted to have more floods again. And this is the areas that are key producers of food. So if you think about it, for people that are thinking, well, actually, we're going to be importing more stuff anyway, what's the difference? Well, think again, because if those countries that keep getting hit with all the natural or, in fact, man-made disasters, probably in many cases, then think again that food is not going to be rich in this country. Just again to give you an idea, because I know many people think when we're talking about the food shortages, it clearly means like empty shelves. Well, it doesn't always mean that. I give a perfect example of olive oil. Olive oil now is in shortage because obviously Italy had fires, the Spain again had the droughts, Greece had issues as well. So the olive oil is in short supply. Yes, we still have the olive oil on the shelves, but if you have a look at the prices are more than 10 times the value. So for example, olive oil in Lidl a couple of years back, was £3.69, and now is £7.39. So you might say, well, yes, it is on the shelves, but Whether before, say maybe 9 out of 10 people will purchase that olive oil and it still be lots on the shelf. Now maybe 1 in 10 will buy it. So the stock is still there because nobody buying it. And I think this is a very important thing for people to understand. Again, the food shortages doesn't always mean empty shelves. That means a really high price hikes, okay? Things will sit there just to look, you know, that the shelves are filled, but people are just not buying it because they're too expensive. Another little thing, guys, just to plant the little seed up there, to make you understand and think a little bit deeper, this is just not all about tax, and in fact about making us hungry, okay? Billy Goat Gates, okay, popped into the Downing Street just before the budget day, okay? And you might think, why on earth the person that has no political agenda or no political interest, as we say, or no political business whatsoever, actually allowed to go in the number 10 and have a debate and have a conversation about the budget? If you think about it, well, our salespeople, okay, we vote, okay, which makes no difference at all because, well, they do what they want to do anyway. We don't get to say in where the budget gets spent at all, okay, and we're the people that pay the taxes and that kind of thing. And yet the Mr. Gates just pops in there and everybody listens to what he's got to say. So this is a fairly common occurrence, okay? Mr. Gates pops into Downing Street pretty much on a regular basis, or at least once a year. Seem to be around, you know, the budget times, that kind of thing. And apparently this year he popped in there, and the reason apparently he was there is to discuss the gift aid. And we're talking about the money that UK gives to other countries to help poor people, that kind of thing. And it was stressed that apparently it was to help poor people. And the amount of money UK have given helped a lot of people, okay? A lot of hungry children, which he mentioned in somewhere before. Anyways, we know, right, they kind of tell us where the money goes indirectly because they support other causes. I haven't really for many seen the causes where they help really hungry children, but apparently we do. And his point was as well to point out that we're UK led by example. So his fear was apparently that if we stopped giving aid to different countries, is going to mean, you know, horrible things for hungry children. Well, I, to be fair, really don't believe that. I do not believe the reason why he was there talking to the Downing Street, because we know the agenda of Billy Goat Gates. We know, guys, Delhi's been buying the land all over the world, okay, for the purposes of, they don't want people farming, okay, they want to have us eating lab-grown meat and bugs. This is the agenda. So to me, he popped in there to discuss that part of it rather than discussing a gift aid or aids that we give to different countries, okay? This is me just speculating because I can sort of see, I think if you prepper, if you follow the whole agenda of the 2030 and WEF and WHO, you know exactly what the agenda is. So to me, it's a little bit of cover up to say why he was there, because technically, you know, saying, trying to encourage us giving any more money to different countries, well, there's no encouragement needed. They're dishing out this money left, right and centre in billions, okay? And the latest one was literally extra few billion to support the current conflict. So it's not really, he needs to encourage them to support that. So nonetheless, as well, guys, all right? I don't know if many of you are aware or not, but the Mr. Schwab written a book, okay? And in the book, it actually clearly states that the Labour Party is a part of the agenda. And to be fair, I'm not surprised. You can see that, I mean, you know, the country's left, right and centre, and they continue doing that. But that kind of draws a bigger picture. If you actually understand what they are standing for and what they're doing, and then Mr. Gates pops in and have a chat, and suddenly, boom, there's that, you know, 20% extra for the farmers to pay, and it, in fact, indirectly will encourage people then to sell off their farms because they can't afford to pay that. They've got to ring some bells. So there we are, guys. This is worrying. It is worrying. Have a look. There's a load of the information online. Obviously, farmers are not happy because they're ruining our farming industry. It's barely holding on by a thread. But I don't understand why nobody can see the fact that without them, okay, we literally will have nothing to eat because they will keep flooding the different countries that produce food. They'll literally get us to the stage where we have no farms here. We're probably not going to be allowed to grow our own food whatsoever, okay? And we won't be able to import anything because the other countries have their own issues with, you know, climate change and whatever else they're going to put upon them. And we're literally going to be stuck in a place where we'll have nothing apart from bugs and probably grass and a lab-grown meat. So there we are, guys. I wanted to bring that forward, as I said, because some of you wanted to know kind of the basics of what is actually happening and why is such a hoo-ha going on. But the NFU is heading to the Westminster on the 19th of November. They're trying to get the government to overrule the current tax, which I'm pretty sure is not going to happen, but we all can, guys, hope. So anyway, hopefully, guys, you find this video helpful. Please share, don't forget, subscribe, like, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.